Mark Carney is already working with questionable people, and not only that, is he going to deliver on the promise of the World Economic Forum to make you rent absolutely everything. So let's get into that, and also the actual post from the World Economic Forum about this. So Canada's next PM, now current PM, working with Vancouver condo king on foreign investment. I mean, this just goes to show the open air corruption, and Better Dwelling exposing it really good here. So Canada's next leader hasn't officially assumed the role, but he's already looking to stimulate real estate. Last week, Vancouver's condo king, Bob Rennie, revealed that he is working with the newly minted LPC leader, Mark Carney, who's now the Prime Minister. The two are considering a plan that would see the country's state-owned mortgage insurer use taxpayer resources to attract foreign investment for rental properties. The plan is about as bonkers as one would assume, and similar to the one that got Canada into the position that it's in the first place. And the position that he's talking about, of course, is the massive real estate bubble. But having obviously more rentals is all part of the World Economic Forum's plan, so that you have no control over your life and you rent absolutely everything. And we're going to get into that in a second. So I just want to highlight this. On a recent episode of Conversations Live, Rennie revealed that he has big plans for the real estate industry. I'm working with Carney, surprise, says Stephen, and I'm trying to get into a rental program in where people can buy, put it into a 25-year pool, a preferred rate from the CMHC, interest rate they're talking about there, and let's allow foreign buyers to buy it. They have to rent it out for 25 years, and it will show the world that we are open for business, he explained. Oh my God, it just gets better and better. And obviously what Better Dwelling points out here is, do we need any more investment into real estate? I mean, you've already got the economy that is balanced on the back of the real estate bubble, because even though it's a market, it's a bubble, and you have to acknowledge it. And when prices escalate this fast, you have all these unintended consequences that come along with it. Now, whether they'd actually be able to get the foreign investors to invest in the first place, that's a different thing entirely. But I want to show you this shocking post on the World Economic Forum here, and part of this comes from Visual Capitalist, which shows you how much people are renting stuff. And this is exactly what the World Economic Forum wants. 45% of furniture is now rented, 37% of gaming systems, 35% of clothing, 35% tools, technology, jewelry, home appliances. All these different things are basically rented right now. And what it really is it's loans, obviously. And in a lot of cases, like with furniture, you are actually seeing people legitimately rent that out, which I think is just completely ridiculous. But the fact is here, all these global elites and all these elitist people like Mark Carney, they want you to rent everything, because then you have no control over your life, and they have all the control, which is central planning 101. And that's exactly what they want to have happen. And it is happening, because people are getting so pessimistic. And the fact is, people can't afford what they used to be able to afford. And the cost of everything has risen so much. What has compensated the consumer is the fact that you can rent stuff, the fact that you can put stuff on cheap credit, even though that has kind of gone out the window over the past couple of years. But that's really the clutch of why prices have been able to escalate, because they can't escalate if the incomes aren't growing. It just doesn't work like that. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. There's got to be some cost or consequence, or a rise in actual people's incomes so they can afford these price hikes, and obviously they can't. And the thing is here, you only have to look at, unfortunately, what's happening with Canadians here. Young Canadians are losing home ownership hope, and this is obviously a very bad thing to say the least, because it means that you're basically going to see more and more these people renting instead of actually looking at housing. And the key thing is what's going on with prices. Just listen to this. Gen Zers and millennials are losing hope of home ownership being an achievable goal in their lifetimes, and some are even giving up on making it a lifetime goal. It's come to the point where most Canadians between the age of 18 and 44 in every province feel home ownership is not a possibility in their lifetime, according to a survey by Easy Home Renovation. There remain some pockets of optimism, most notably in Quebec, Newfoundland and Labrador, Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia and Alberta. And those places where there is optimism, why is that? It's because obviously prices are higher. Ontario and British Columbia are the most expensive places to buy real estate. And as we know on this channel, the main driver of escalating real estate prices against incomes is easy credit and a lot of investors. That's what drives the price higher, because they are highly emotional, and 90% of them will actually lose money on their investments because they don't have a clue what they're doing, and it's all about just playing a casino essentially in the housing market. They just think because it's houses and it's a physical thing that they cannot lose. And obviously we're seeing that in the housing market with prices stagnating now for 3 years. You know that the housing market doesn't just go straight up. That has obviously been evidenced here. And another thing that I want to show you is the market activity and what's going on right now. And if you look at new listings right now, they're absolutely surging. So it's kind of no wonder that you're seeing these people come out and saying, yeah, we need to do this. We need to stimulate more investment into real estate. And it's because they're struggling. Their life is on the line. And you know, it's not just that. The banks, you've even got Toronto Star reporters that are coming out on Reddit, and they're asking for people, are you struggling with your mortgages? Because we're writing a story on it. I mean, what does that tell you about where the housing market is right now when you've got people writing stories on it? Like, all the evidence is out there for people to see. It's just that a lot of people are oblivious to it. And the labor market is only getting worse. The tariff situation, that's not going away. And it's so volatile right now. Businesses can't make new investment decisions. So it all puts downward pressure on the economy. And another key thing I want to point out here is this would also compete with existing foreign capital going into more productive areas of the economy. And this is the key thing here. Do you want more money that is, of course, heading into the real estate market? The real estate market, which is in a bubble, of course, which we know. And obviously, what's going to happen to that money? Most of it's going to evaporate if it's obviously put in now. And then that gives them a bad taste in their mouth about what Canada is, which it isn't just a real estate bubble. Canada needs a lot more investment in commodities, pipelines, energy infrastructure, and things like that to get its products to market to actually help the country. And it doesn't need more money just going into real estate and driving what all these global elites want, which is everybody to end up in the rental economy, which is in fact what's happening right now. You cannot deny this is happening. These statistics are insane. And one final note here is obviously that before the Great Depression, it was buy now, pay later. That was the thing that boomed. And obviously renting stuff, leasing stuff, loans on stuff, that was all very popular. And I think that is a just very, very bad sign that we've got to this point, because it doesn't mean a lot for economic stability. In fact, it means the complete opposite. So we've really got to keep an eye on what happens with this. And obviously in a downturn, probably not going to do that well. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd highly recommend that you check out this video here. And if you're looking for the best VPN out there, ExpressVPN, go to expressvpn.com/marketmania. That also helps out the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.